Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map, and in this video I would like to share with you some tips on how to deepen your tarot practice. We get to these points in our tarot journey, when we're learning a system, when we're learning about tarot, we get to like the stagnant points. And, I've experienced it myself, and I thought maybe it's going to be an interesting and inspiring for someone to know what I think it's creative or like explorative way to reconnect and deepen the tarot practice that you're having, because at times it can get stagnant, it can get a bit boring, it can get a bit like, repetitive. So let me know what you do. Let me know what you think about the points that I suggest you try. And let's just go straight into the video. So the first point, I think I called it zoom in. So let's just grab a card. Can we have a card? All right. We have Sun card from top deck, okay, as an example. So rather than looking at the card, from far away and getting a vibe of it and so on, my suggestion is to zoom into the card. So what you need to do is like sit, calm yourself down, get into this alpha state, meditative state, and just sit with the card and look at it. At some point, you do realize that like you are drawn to certain details. So focusing on details of the card will make you, maybe will open up some new ways of understanding a card, and will definitely give you some personal connection to the cards that you are working with. So focusing on details and zooming in would be the first point. When you do that, I would then suggest to play some, drumming music. You can find on YouTube a lot of like 15-minute drumming tracks, or if you have a drum, you can drum yourself and get into the state of shamanic journeying. And you can get to journey either with the image of the card itself or with the details that you got kind of drawn to at this particular moment. So if we're looking at this tarot card from top deck, like, you could get drawn to any of the signs, you could get drawn to the spiraling sun, you could get drawn to the wall, to the path, and so on. And then I would suggest to just, go with your imagination, go with your intuition, and journey into the detail of the card and ask the card to show you another angle to understanding of this particular archetype. So then what I would do, so if you zoom in, do a shamanic intuitive kind of journey into the card, I would suggest on reading about the Sun card, for example, if this is our example, from any fucking book you have in your library, or watching YouTube videos about it, researching internet about it, and so on, so that you find what other people say about this card. And this sometimes takes you onto like little rabbit holes when you go, oh wow, I've never thought about it. For me myself, I found so many interesting details by checking out other people's ideas about the card and not just sticking to the traditional way of seeing it. But I would strongly suggest doing the intuitive bit first before you go into other people's explanations and book kind of research. Try to sit with your own imagination, your own intuition, so it can, suggest certain feelings or emotions or details or little, ideas for you. What I would do also, what I like to do, I take another deck of cards, and I look at the Sun card and I ask, for example, about the wall. What does the wall mean in the Sun card? And I pulled one card from another deck. Okay, so let's just play with it. Why don't we just take Ritual Tarot, for example? It just was there. So we shuffle a deck, you take any deck you like, any deck you kind of feel familiar with, or any deck that is very great for intuitive readings because it has many elements and you can just like focus on something and it's not that, you know, just only one symbol. So the question is, what does the wall on the Sun card mean? So we would pull one card, for example, or however many you want. And I got, I think it's a Hermit card. And what is fascinating about this one is that, you know, my first impression, it's interesting how the wall is kind of reddish and his brain is reddish, but the wall is the limited understanding. It's just the intellectual, the mind understanding that we have. Maybe our perception, maybe our limited view on life or limited perspective that we have. So that's what I would do. We could like, you know, go on with it and then you could pull different cards for different symbols. I think this is a wonderful exercise, you know, to play with. And another thing I would do would be like taking a deck that you, for example, you know, like or you want to get to know better, and you can do a storytelling. So now we're not really zooming in anymore, but you can deepen your tarot practice by making a story. So let's say let's pull 4 cards, you know, and the first card, let's say, is this 3 people sitting and having a little hangout together, and then there is something that they are talking about that they would like to get, and unfortunately one of them gets really sick and has so many worries, so her friends are wondering how can they help them, and then they decide to go to an astrologer because via the stars they can discover how they can help their suffering friend. You know, something like this. You just make it up, you can make it silly, you can write it down, but the more you kind of practice this free flow and not getting really too stuck on, oh my god, what does 7 of Wands mean or 8 of Wands, you know, you don't really look at tarot system in this exercise. With storytelling, you just look at the image and you just free flow and invent shit, to be honest. But it seems maybe pointless, but at some point you'll notice that you practice seeing. You're noticing more and more details, you're noticing more and more symbols, and it's a really great exercise to just like, you know, get creative with your cards. I also sometimes do like TV, I call it, or movie divination or sport divination. So, you know, who wins, who dies, who loves whom, who betrays whom, and so on. So sometimes you can just like do, you know, who is going to win the game, like, and you pull 1 card for each team, and that's how you learn maybe how your tarot deck speaks to you. I also love this idea of creating a tarot spreads from a tarot card. So you pull a tarot card from your deck, and let's say our Sun card, we could create a 12 sign spread. We could create 2 cards that, like, for example, we would call it, let's say, how do I get clarity about a certain issue? And you pull 2 cards and 1 card which is going to be this like main theme or main answer. We could say, for example, a relationship card, you know, 6 cards here or 6 cards here, like what does person A need, what does person B need, or where am I meaning to shine right now? Stuff like this. Like if we take something like from Ritual Tarot, I just drew this Devil card, you know, what am I not seeing, or what am I really seeing but don't want to acknowledge? We have this, like, so there's a lot of eyes, there's a lot of like hidden figures, what's hiding from my conscious understanding, you know, going like this, and just write down those questions and then pull cards for like to answer them. And again, you're doing like a little deep dive into a deck and into your own personal connection. And I also like to converse with my decks. So, you know, like let's say, I don't know, how is this Sunday's energy going to be for me? And so, you know, you pull a card, let's say, you know, and it's just like reach to the stars, get out from under the water. So what can I do? And then it says like, don't think too much maybe, because that just hurts you. So what should I do? You can just go out and, I don't know, look at cows. So, I'm just like playing here, but you can do a conversation. Specifically, this works well if you have some like bugging issue or something you want to really kind of get creative about. Like, I'm doing this plant flowers in tarot workshop, so I often do how can I best present it to people, and you just pull cards for that. Is it going to enhance people's knowledge about tarot? You can answer questions. How can I be more how can it be more exciting, and so on. So I think this is a couple of ways that you may try. I'm curious what you do. Please share. I would love to get some comments and some action from you. And also, I want to invite you to this workshop, Tarot Flowers in Tarot. It's on 25th of November. Until 15th of November, there is a special early bird prize. And then it's only goes up for $10. So you can join until 24th. We're going to meet on Zoom. It's 3-hour class. It's experiential. We will be working in a big group. It's open to maximum 20 people. So it's not going to be, like a huge amount of people. And I have a beautiful presentation which you receive. We're going to go deep diving into cards and plants and flowers specifically, and how they can add to your understanding and your intuition and your knowledge of tarot archetypes. So I would love to see you there. I'm so passionate about this subject, love it. And I hope to see you there. Otherwise, let me know about your ways of deepening your tarot practice, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.